Moving into our last story of the day, folks, you're going to love this. You are going to love this. The left, specifically the Democrat Party here, they catch themselves. You've all seen Fox News The Five. It's actually really fun to watch. Well, there's a panel that was talking about abortion and all this other stuff. And you have this co-host, Jessica Tarlov, try to defend abortion access and accidentally made the case for securing the border, the southern border, in the process of trying to make that. Folks, this is so good. It is so good. I'm sorry that the quality's not that great, but you'll hear it just fine. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Well, it's like number 5 in the backseat in the list of issues. And we know the economy's ahead: inflation, crime and policing, immigration in some polls, and education, where Democrats are still favored. But I think that what has gone on, like the story of the 10-year-old rape victim in Ohio that a lot of conservatives said was made up, right? It's not possible that a 10-year-old was raped and had to go to Indiana to get an abortion. Lo and behold.
I don't know of many Republicans saying that wasn't true. You guys let me know in the comments. I think we actually even reported on it that it was true. I'm almost positive I know we reported on a 10-year-old girl. I thought she went to Ohio, or the immigrant went to Ohio, the illegal immigrant, or whatever it was. So I don't know where this is coming from. You guys let me know if that's truth or not. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some conservatives out there saying that it wasn't true, but I believe we reported on it months and months back.
It did happen.
Who raped her?
Yeah, who's that?
Is this an undocumented man did?
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's close that border.
Exactly.
Finally.
Thank you.
Don't be so silly. Do you think it really matters?
No, it actually happens all the time in this underground illegal immigration black market because people refuse to close the border.
Americans rape women too. We can all agree on that, right? So this happened to have been someone who was undocumented.
Equity.
Guys.
No, but you point.
Did you hear Gutfeld? He goes, "Go equity." And so she sits there and fumbles through her words. There really isn't much left in terms of that video. But boy, oh boy, it's just amazing how when they don't have their entire thought process put out, they sit there and they put themselves and pigeonhole themselves into their own ideology that ends up being wrong and supportive of a conservative ideology and a Republican ideology of locking up the borders so you don't have 10-year-olds being raped. Go figure. Go figure. And you know what? She couldn't back out of it. She had an epiphany, and it totally reminds me of that interview with Channel 4 and Jordan B. Peterson when she talked about freedom of speech and him trying to suppress and all these things. And he told her, hey, you know what? You're willing to sit there and offend me by seeking out truth through the use of your free speech. Why are you allowed to engage in that, but somebody else can't? And she was totally baffled by it. So same thing happened here. And you have the 5, Gutfeld, sitting there slapping her upside the head, talking about equity and all the crazy stuff that they're pushing. And speaking of crazy stuff that includes abortion, you have Democratic Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, I can't believe this lady still gets elected every single time, issued a tweet on Monday declaring that kids are our future. Get this. It says like there's no mirror or there's no connection, assimilation, understanding, and information to what they just said previously. Because look, kids are our future followed less than 2 hours later a post declaring that she felt that a fight like hell to defend access to abortion in Michigan. Yes, you heard me correctly. Will fight like hell to defend access to abortion in Michigan, while basically at the same time saying kids are our future. It's like the brain just fell out some way, or you hit your head too many times. I don't know. Quote, our kids are our future, and I'm fighting for them. By closing the school funding gap and investing in public education, we're giving our students the support they need to thrive. As long as I'm governor, I will fight like hell to defend access to abortion in Michigan. It's just, there's no wherewithal. There's honest to God, there's no inkling in her mind the asinine disconnection that she just made between the two statements. They don't see it. They honest to God don't see it. The tweets posted the governor's Twitter account highlight the fact that pro-choice proponents do not recognize unborn babies as distinct human individuals with a right to life. Quote, I want every Michigander to know that I am more determined than ever to protect access to safe, legal abortion. It's amazing that they say all this stuff. We literally just did the episode yesterday with AOC talking about how it's an economic crisis, that it's a problem for certain classes because they're being forced to have births because of the whole law that they just removed with Dobbs, as well as Roe v. Wade. And ultimately, you had Griswold v. Connecticut basically upheld as well. And so they're calling this whole thing being forced births. and then it's going to sit there and hurt people at the end of the day. And that should be included as to a reason as to why people need abortions. No longer is it safe, legal, and rare, so much so that we also report on the fact that they're putting RVs, abortion RVs, outside of red area and red states so that people can get access to abortions on demand. So don't give me this safe, legal abortion type stuff and rare. Get out of here with it. Now is the time to use every tool in our toolbox to protect women and reproductive health care. Explain to me what you're reproducing. I don't understand that. For the love of God, we keep talking about reproductive and then adding in health care as well. Health care to whom? You're killing somebody. What about the health and care of the baby of which you're chopping up or you're sterilizing or whatever it's going to be? What about the health care for that? And what's, again, being reproduced? It's amazing. It's amazing language. It's like the Inflation Reduction Act. It doesn't actually reduce any inflation. It's just asinine statement. Or like Black Lives Matter. Yes, they do. But what the hell do you mean by that? Oh, ending the nuclear family. Oh, got it. There's all this stuff under here. Reproductive health care sounds great. Oh, we're chopping up babies. Oh, maybe not. Whoa. Unbelievable. Whitmer declared in a statement earlier this year when responding to the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, "I will fight like hell to protect every Michigander's right to make decisions about their own body with the advice of a medical professional they trust. I will not give in or give up for my kids, your kids, and the future of our great state." You're talking about killing kids, and they're saying, "I will not give up or give up for my kids, your kids, and the future of our great state." There's no connection, you guys, at all. I'm telling you, I don't know what happened along the way, but somehow these people are getting elected, and they're pushing this whole thing, and they don't see the connections that they're making. They don't see it at all. You're going to love this because it continues further in terms of talking about kids and access to abortions and pushing this on our education system, because we literally have the Secretary of Education out here talking about reproductive health care for college students. Check this one out.
Thank you, Mr. President. I share your grave concerns about maintaining access to contraception and reproductive health services on our college campuses, and ensuring there's accurate, reliable information for students and for educators. Students need access to healthcare to thrive in school and in life, and that includes reproductive healthcare. Thank you also to Vice President Harris.
You need access to abortions so that you can thrive in life. Isn't that an amazing statement? You should have access to murdering babies so that you can thrive in life. No connection. See all the manipulation here they do with the wording about reproductive health care? Like, oh, who wouldn't be behind reproductive health care? No. This is what they want. It's no longer safe, legal, and rare. It's on demand, and you can get it anywhere and everywhere. If they were to leave it up to Democrats here, they would want freaking an abortion clinic on every corner like it's a Starbucks.
In August, we met with college leaders grappling with new, sweeping restrictions to their states. Our work together is ongoing. It's clear. The Dobbs ruling has sown fear and confusion on our college campuses. I worry about the chilling effects this uncertainty, including about access to birth control, will have on students. I think about the 1 in 4 women who experience sexual assault in college and what this means for their safety and their well-being.
I'm curious if he's manipulating that data, because that's purely subjective of what one determines to be sexual assault. And I'm curious, at first I thought he was going to cite the 1 in 4 are victims of rape, which everybody has disproven. I mean, it's literally an asinine statement to make. It's not even close. But somebody can sit there and make a comment towards you like, hey, you got nice jeans, and that's sexual assault all of a sudden. Or that's sit there and now they're saying mean and hurtful things to you. So I take that 1 in 4 as a grain of salt. There definitely stuff like that does happen on campuses. I'm not discrediting that it doesn't. But you're going to throw this in here in terms of reproductive health care and access to contraceptives and birth control. It's an odd stat to throw in there.
I think about the college student I met in September who was unable to enroll until she escaped a violent abuser. Access to reproductive health care is vital to these students and to countless others for success in college and beyond.
What the hell does that have to do with reproductive health care? Is he trying to lump in just regular health care with access to abortions and contraceptives and birth control? I'm confused as to why he's like, oh, I remember this victim who it's terrible to hear about, but, abusive relationship. I mean, am I missing something here maybe? It's just, again, it's literally titled the Top Second Reproductive Rights Task Force Meeting. And when you're talking about reproductive rights, a part of that is abortion and access to contraceptives and birth control and all those other things.
Today, my department is issuing a new resource to remind schools of their obligation under Title IX. For 50 years, Title IX has protected students from sex-based discrimination, and since 1975, it has also protected students from discrimination based on pregnancy, termination of pregnancy, or any related conditions.
So he's going to continue with his department on everything they're doing, and we've all seen Joe Biden and what they want to happen to these children. Not just abortions and killing them, but they want them to be castrated, lop off their boobs. I mean, you guys, there was literally an article, there was a report today that came out that literally it's turning into a $5 billion business industry to sit there and castrate young children, cut off their genitalia, lop off their you-know-what, and everything else like that, giving them puberty blockers, hormone enhancers, all sorts of stuff that they want to do with these children. This is like a main foundation now of the Democrat platform. But remember, we're the ones that went further right here. It's not the Democrat Party. I mean, Savannah Hernandez did a phenomenal, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now, but Savannah Hernandez used to be with Blaze Media, and now she's a contributor for Turning Point USA, did a phenomenal interview with, I presume to be a black person or an Indian person. Their face was blurred out, but they had darker skin, saying, look, I've been voting Democrat my entire life, but the Democrats don't hold the same values I do anymore. And they're very reminiscent of Ronald Reagan. I didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left me. They've gone further left. The interview literally said she didn't even recognize the Democrat Party anymore. Who could be for this stuff? Who is for castrating children on demand and just wanting it without parental involvement, without the parents being involved in the health care of their child? This is when you get in the scary territory with having the state being left up to decide what is right and what is wrong for your child rather than you. That is some scary stuff, you guys. When you leave it up to the state to decide what's best for your child rather than you do, you're getting into some really dicey territory, because now all of a sudden, when you get into trans rights, gender rights, all that stuff that they're pushing here on these little children, the state's going to decide what's abusive and what isn't. So the second you don't cave into your son or daughter wanting to be called Tracy when they're legally Daniel and wanting to get their schlong chopped off or whatever it may be, now all of a sudden you're an abusive parent and your kid's going to be taken away, and the state will make sure that they get that reproductive health care that they want, that reproductive abortion without you ever knowing or being forced upon you. Or heck, getting that trans surgery for your son or daughter of which that you don't think is right or you don't want to happen to your son or daughter. And if they want to make that decision, it should happen at 18 years old. No. The state's going to decide that for your son or daughter, and they're going to decide it for you. Scary stuff, folks. And that's why you need to vote red here in November. That's why this guy needs to be out of office. That's why the Secretary of Education needs to be gone, because that's their agenda. And Project Veritas and others, including the Bald Brad Show, are exposing everything that they're pushing here. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.